All right. Says we're live. You guys can hear me. Please let me know. We will get this started. Got 150 of you waiting. Appreciate y'all being here. It's just a road course, so we'll see how exciting it is. We'll see how big the stream gets, but appreciate y'all being here. Let me pop the chat out. I think we have a pretty fun slate today. I mean, there's a couple of obvious chalk options, but Connor Zilic being out definitely changed the slate yesterday. When I ran preliminary projections, he was my number one overall play. So when you take him out of the equation, I got my loud and clear from Andre. Appreciate that. So I'm not talking to nobody. Connor Zilic being out definitely changed the slate. When I ran the preliminary projections, he was my top guy. Point per dollar wise, he wasn't quite, I believe, to SVG's projection. But when you factor in him being only $9,200, I believe, yeah, he was pretty clearly going to be the chalk tomorrow, which is now today. If you guys don't know what happened, Connor won the race yesterday in the Xfinity Series. Tries to celebrate by going out of his car because, of course, and then I guess his foot got caught in the window or the door and took a spill. Thought he died. Fortunately, he did not. So I don't know how long he'll be out, but it's going to be a while. Broke his collarbone. Thought he broke his leg. Thought he snapped his neck. Fortunately, that did not happen. So at least he's all good there. But today's race should be fun. It's probably going to be another SVG show, for being honest, but this price tag does open the door to maybe make some different style of builds, even if he does crush. Now, someone left me a good comment yesterday. They said, if SVG leads 60 laps and wins the race, do you think we'll need him? And I would say the answer to that would be yes. I currently have SVG's projection sitting at... So I have him finishing first, but it's a 5.57 projection, which might even be a little bit light. I do think Watkins Glen does open the door for some more variance, just the style of this road course race compared to the others. But I gave him 47.18 laps led, 33 fast laps. That equates to 26.66 odometer points. All that put together equals 59.52 points. Again, I am probably being a little bit too lenient on the projected finish. If you actually gave him a projected finish of first, we're talking probably close towards 70 points. If that happens, you will want him in your lineup. And honestly, it's really not that hard to fit him. I think if we had Connor, it would be a lot easier just to go straight place differential. Say Kyle Larson, Connor, Chase Elliott, and then grab a couple of punts. But with Connor being out, you take one of the best projection plays. It just really makes SVG very easy to fit. You can play SVG with Kyle Larson. You can play him with Chase Elliott all in the same lineup. Now you do have to go a little bit punting, but I do think a lot of these punts on this slate are very similar in projection to the mid-range. Like, from what I'm seeing, Justin Haley, Zane Smith, Cole Custer, their projections are almost on par with, guys around this range. So I don't really feel like I'm missing out on anything. So I said in the video, we'll have to see how projections shake out, to how easy it is to fit SVG in, but honestly, it's really not that hard. Now, FanDuel is a bit of a different situation. FanDuel is a lot harder to fit SVG, and at the same time, the odometer points don't add up as much over there. You get 0.1 for the lap led, you don't get any fast laps, and that's it. So if he led every lap, he's getting 9 points. Doesn't seem great to me at that price point, even if he does win. So I do ceiling and floor projections, which I think is kind of great for a scenario like this. So Shane's projected ceiling on this slate is roughly around 57, 60 points on FanDuel. Not great considering Kyle Larson has a ceiling of 64.7. He's considerably cheaper, $3,000 cheaper. Tyler Reddick even has a 59-point ceiling. Ty Gibbs and AJ Allmendinger have 57.XX ceilings, which is, again, they're much cheaper than Shane. Shane's safe in the sense he's probably going to win. He's going to stay up front. He's not going to be in the mess. But he is showing negative leverage for me on FanDuel. But actually slight positive leverage on draft. I think Shane's you can easily play him on DraftKings. You get the down points are there. He makes a lot of sense. On FanDuel, I think I'd currently prioritize guys like Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Christopher Bell. Just a little bit more over there. I think Michael McDowell and Shane are actually very similar plays on FanDuel, and he's $5,000 cheaper. So I still played 35% Shane on FanDuel. I'm showing him optimal around 40% of the time. I think he comes in a little bit higher owned than that. But I do think being overweight on guys like Michael McDowell maybe make a little bit more sense. $5,000 cheaper. So it's kind of a quick spiel on the slate. I will get into some of the questions here. If you guys have any questions, leave them below and I will answer them. We only have 50 minutes to lock. It's an early lock today. So I won't be able to give you guys the inside scoop on the FanDuel ownership right before DraftKings locks, because I think it's only 3 minutes apart. But I already did build, so we're all good there. And in my single entries on FanDuel, I did not play Shane. I played him in 1 and a 3 max. So probably going to end up being underweight. And I played 35% in MME. All right, anyway, let's get into it here. What's up, Johnny T? I'm assuming that's a FanDuel Cash question. For me on FanDuel Cash, I really don't think you need to jam in SVG. Like, it's just the price tag and what he has to do to be optimal on FanDuel. Not saying it's not possible. For me, it's optimal around 40% of the time. You need the absolute ceiling, which is possible for SVG. But I feel a little bit safer with starting with Kyle Larson over there, starting all the way back in 27th. I really like Chase Elliott on both sites. And also in cash, I really like William Byron. Perfectly fine with them. So, I mean, really, my FanDuel lineups are just so heavy on Larson, Bell, Byron, Elliott. All 4 of those guys in a row right here. That is what I'm building around. I am also overweight in tournaments on Michael McDowell and Kyle Busch. Both of these guys are on the outside looking in for the cut line. And they're going to have to go with the race winning strategy. And this is one of their best shots to do it. And Michael McDowell is actually, I think he's been the only driver at any point this season that's had at least a better car at certain points at a road course. When Michael McDowell, we all know, was dominating. I believe it was Chicago. Remember right? That was when I was in Ohio. So I think I missed the early part of that race. But Michael McDowell was dominating over SVG at one point. I believe he had a mechanical issue which killed his day. But I mean, we know he's going to be fast and he has to be on the race winning strategy. Same with Kyle Busch, and he has a fast car as well based off of practice. So those are 2 guys I like being overweight on in tournaments. And then, like I said, William Byron, those kind of guys. Got a donut from CGen. Appreciate that, sir. I didn't see a question with it. Maybe it's down below. Oh, who are the safest low-priced drivers? Assuming we're just talking DraftKings, I think everybody is probably playing the same ones. I kind of said that Justin Haley was more of a tournament play in the breakdown video, I think. But once they're in projections and ownership, it looks like he's going to be the chalk cheap play. Everyone sees the practice times. Everyone sees the Vegas odds compared to everybody else down here. They're just not even close. I mean, he's similar to Joey Logano, not too far off. I believe same as Austin Cindric. Much more expensive. But if we're looking at practice, sometimes practice can be a little bit funky, especially when you have these like cheaper drivers near the top. But if you're looking at it within groups, I mean, Justin Haley still led his group, and the lap times were just good in general. Like, even when we got into the long run, he was putting down some really good laps. So I think at that price point, you can play him. He's actually in some of my single entries on FanDuel. He's in some of my 3 maxes. If he can just stay around 20th at his price point, you're going to be very happy with that. Other cheap plays I like, Cole Custer. He actually didn't look too bad in practice up here in the mid-range. I don't mind Zane Smith. I think he was a little bit lower, if I remember. Right here, which, again, at his price point, it's not like he's at the very bottom of the totem pole. So for me, I really like Cole Custer. I like Zane Smith. I like Justin Haley's probably my favorite punts today. I mean, of course, you can play Ty Dillon. You can play someone like Catherine Legg if you want. Just they're not projecting as well. What's up, Hunter? Congrats on graduating from Florida. Got to give you a shout out there. What's up, Sean? Oh, wait. Saw another dono. A right, believe. Appreciate that. So it's top 5 drivers regardless of price for cash on FanDuel. I mean, regardless of price, I mean, projections would say Shane's at the top, but then Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and William Byron. I think that was 5. All right. What do you think about Larson, Bell, Elliott, Bowman, Gillen, and Haley on DraftKings? Also, do you play NFL best ball? I play a ton of NFL playoff best ball. I do not play it season long. It doesn't interest me too much. Obviously, in the DFS streets a ton, but season long best ball for me, it just seems like a lottery ticket. But anyway, Larson, Bell, Elliott. I love that. Bowman slightly concerns me today. The more I looked into it, I'm like, he's probably going to take some points today, and that's not typically the optimal strategy for DFS purposes. So I'd be a little bit careful with Alex Bowman today. Chris Buescher, I like him. He's really cheap on FanDuel. Like, I have a good chunk of him on FanDuel, but I am slightly concerned. Maybe he goes a little bit points racing today. He's just the top 10 machine, though, at the road courses, and he could potentially win the race. I mean, that's not out of the question. I mean, he beat SVG. There's a slight concern there. Slight concern. But Bowman, yeah, that's the only worry point. I love the rest. Just, you gotta be a little careful with Bowman if it points race. Kyle Busch will not be points racing. He's like the same price, and he looks like he's got a good car this weekend, so that might make a little bit more sense in a tournament. Top 5 drivers to win the race, 2 sleepers. Thanks as always. I'll just pull up the usual board here. So I got Shane. Again, I'm always just so low on Shane. I think he breaks the road course model. I just can't get him. Based on how I run my stuff, I just can't get it lower than that. So we'll see what ends up happening. But then I got Byron, McDowell, Bell, and Chastain. That's the top 5 I got right there. But of course, Shane being number 1. Sleeper to win. Honestly, anybody not named Shane is a sleeper to win, sleeper to win, really. Michael McDowell would be my pick if it's not Shane today. What's up, Spread? What's up, AJ? Might need your best 5K guys this week with SVG, Bell, Bowman, and AJ. Either that or fade SVG and going with a more balanced approach. I mean, you can 100% play SVG today. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, very good chance today he just wrecks the field. Not in a literal sense, but you know what I mean. Favorite 5K guys, though, like I said, it's this group right here and Cole Custer. I don't know why he's $5,300, but he is, so not a bad road racer. Relative to his price point, Justin Haley will most likely be the chalk today, even though he doesn't have place differential, but I think he just kind of hangs around that top 20 today. What's up, Team Penske fan? Who would you pick in these 1v1 matchups to finish ahead? Buescher or McDowell? I would take McDowell. Don't have to worry about any points racing with him by any means. He's going for the win today, and I just think he's got the better car. And then I will go with Byron over Chastain. 12:04. I think I might have been a little bit later than 12:04 here, but it wasn't too bad today. What's up, Mundo? Or am I playing a 1 Dom and PD drivers lineup or balance with a stack the front approach? I think you just kind of have to mix and match that. Like, most of your lineups will probably have SVG, and then I'm fine with place differential after that. Or you can go with McDowell and place differential, or you can just go full place differential. I don't think it's one or the other, really. I mean, there's a couple of scenarios. We could see an Xfinity race scenario where half the field just blows each other up at the end. That's certainly possible. Obviously, Austin Hill is not in this field, so the chances of that are less likely. But we got a couple of idiots. We got Carson Hocevar. Stenhouse, he's probably going to be in the back, so I'm not sure how much damage he could actually do. But Hocevar starting, 8th? So you never know. But I don't think it's one or the other, really. But if I am building one lineup, I'd play SVG, and then I'd get place differential. Bell or Buescher, I would take Bell. Just heads up, some of the bets I got this week, I think Bell is still available, but you can get him top 10, I believe, at plus 110 on Hard Rock. And last night, they still had Connor Zilich's odds up like he was in the race. So you're kind of getting some nice odds there because they didn't take him out. They didn't readjust their lines. Last night, I got Elliott top 10 at plus 220 over there, and I think that's now like minus... Oh, let me see what it is now. That's like... I got some real good line movement on that one. I've never seen Chase Elliott so long for a top 10 at a road course. Yeah, Elliott's minus 120 now, so 220. So I love that bet. I wouldn't. Minus 120 actually still might show value, but nothing like last night, of course. And then I also have Group 5 on Hard Rock. Yeah, Group 5 on Hard Rock. It's Blaney, Hamlin, Suarez, and Priest. They have Blaney at minus 700. I have 0.2 units on Hamlin at plus 900 to win that group. Daniel Suarez at plus 1,200 to win that group. And Ryan Priest at plus 1,400. I'll show a little bit of value there. And that's nothing major, just some slight bets against Ryan Blaney. Of course, there could be variance in this race, and I like the odds we got there. But that's all I got. I didn't bet any outrights because, let's just be honest, it's probably the SVG Dunk Fest, and I don't really want to fight it. Even though I am showing, I believe, a little bit of value on some of these other guys like Bell. I just feel more comfortable with their top 10s. What's up, Stump? What do you think about Byron, Elliott, Larson, Zane Smith, Stenhouse, and Bell? Stenhouse is not my favorite today. I'm trying to see if you can maybe get a pivot. Like, I'd rather play Justin Haley just based off the speed we saw, even Zane Smith or Cole Custer over Stenhouse. I know he starts further back. It's just... That's where I ended up. I don't think it's like the worst thing you can do having Stenhouse, but I like the rest. What's up, CJ? Nice to see you guys all the way from Hawaii. What's up, Aaron? Good to see you, fellow 330. All right, Taylor has SVG, Larson, Elliott for cash, then jam down below. Yeah, I think the starting point for cash today is those three: SVG, Larson, Elliott. I would probably play Haley as a cheaper option, and you probably just have to play straight punts after that. But I'm perfectly fine with it. Like in cash games, there is nobody in the mid range that's an absolute must play. Like none of these guys you just need to force in. None of them. So I am fine just going 3 studs up top and then 3 punts in cash. We don't have one standout play. Like we don't have Kyle Busch starting 34th or anything like that. Fade SVG in single lineups on FanDuel. That's what I did, Philly. I just can't make it work. Yeah, I really don't think the math makes too much sense. Like, sure, is he probably going to win? Yes, you have to understand that. But from what you're losing, paying the extra $3,000, like it's fine if he's the highest scoring driver, but you can probably make a better overall lineup on FanDuel, stacking up guys like Larson, Bell, Byron. I say that, they'll probably all wreck and it wouldn't matter anyway. Hopefully not. But yeah, I went 1 out of 3 SVG. I played 35% MME, and I played none of my single entries. So appreciate the dono, Clint. Happy race day to you, and shout out to the best NASCAR guy in Discord community. Appreciate that. How do we feel about Stenhouse? Thanks as always. Go Ohio baseball today. Absolutely, go Ohio baseball. The Cleveland Indians are gonna catch the Detroit Tigers. They're almost there. But Stenhouse is it's just cheap junk in the bag. I'll be honest. If it just ends up being a wreck fest, I can't say he won't finish 23rd today and be a great play. I just don't think he's the best projection play. But things can get stupid, and I will. That's all I'm saying. But he's not my first choice as a punt. What's up, Ryan? Who y'all got today? Lots of Larson, Bell, Byron, Elliott. That's for sure. What's up, Jim? You have Priest and Gregson. Are these good plays? Gregson's fine for a punt just because he starts 36. It's really all it is. You can't go much further back. Obviously, you got Balicki wearing the leg behind him, which as much as he wrecks, he's probably, if we had odds today, who's going to wreck, Gregson would probably be at the lowest odds there, or the highest odds, however you want to view that in your head. As far as Ryan Priest is concerned, he's also not really someone I got to. It's just his projection's so close to other guys, so much further down low, and it leads to those stars and scrubs builds, so there's nothing wrong with him. He can finish top 15. I just don't think his projection's too far off of someone like Cole Custer, as crazy as that sounds, or Justin Haley. What's the max number of drivers you would have starting in the top 12? I mean, there's not really a set number. I have some lineups with Kyle Busch and Michael McDowell together. I have SVG and McDowell together. I have Christopher Bell, William Byron. I mean, you could make one with 4 on there. I don't think it'd be the craziest thing ever. I don't really think there's a set number for that. Click to you as well, Andy. What's up, Dennis? Happy race to you as well, Kenny. Yeah, that was a wild victory lane celebration, if you want to call it a celebration. I went out to dinner right before it happened, and the notifications are blowing up that Connor is freaking dead. But fortunately, he's all right. What's up, Rick? Hope for a good race and not watching a train. Let's hope so. And yeah, that was definitely a bad fall for Zilli for sure. Hopefully he gets better soon, because NASCAR is better with Connor Zillich in it. That's for sure. But yeah, let's hope it's not a train. I mean, it might be the train behind Shane, but hopefully the racing behind him is better. The Xfinity race was pretty awesome yesterday. Even before the Wreckfest, we had Shane did not have a great car yesterday, and he was trying to hold off Connor Zillich, who had one of the best cars I've ever seen in my life. He was just absolutely throwing down some blistering laps, and Connor could not get around him because Shane was just blocking him, and he got sent. And then after that, Austin Hill turned into a terrorist, took out half the field, tried to kill Michael McDowell. It got real fun. Real fun. I would not bet on SVG to win the race at -115. I would not. My plan is for an outright. Maybe live bet an outright, but I don't know. We'll see. If SVG is showing a little bit of weakness and someone's a little bit better on strategy, maybe I can hit something. If Hard Rock's asleep, I am not betting an outright before this race starts. What's up, Astro? Good to see you. Impressive tomorrow. Stars and scrubs the way to go today. Yeah, I would agree with that. just the way qualifying shaked out and the way these prices are, a lot of these guys have very similar upside to this range, really. So it doesn't even feel necessary. I mean, you can play like Todd Gillen looks all right. John Nemechek, he's okay, but no real standouts. And we're gonna get the field shaken up a few times. So, I mean, of course, stage one, it's probably gonna be the running order, right? But things will shuffle around. And I would tell you right now, road courses, nothing matters until the final pit cycle after stage 3. Things are gonna look screwy at times, and nothing matters. And plus, if we get into overtime, who knows what'll happen after that. What do I usually set randomness for at road courses? Typically 25%. I think that's usually the sweet spot. Super speedways, 50% usually, but 25% is typically the sweet spot for me. Lots of Custer and Haley in tournaments. What could go wrong? Hopefully not too much, because I do have a good chunk of those guys. But yeah, it could definitely go poorly. SVG, Bell, Bowman, Logano, Nemechek, Haley equals win. That'll be different for sure. I don't think anyone's really playing Bowman, Logano today. I don't really think Nemechek will have too much ownership, so it'll be different. Bowman's a slight worry, which I usually love Bowman at road courses, but just have some concerns today. Elliott thoughts on? I think Elliott's one of the best plays on the board today, whether it be DraftKings or FanDuel. I think he's too cheap on FanDuel. I think he's too cheap on DraftKings. So. What's up, Daniels? SVG in that Red Bull should be unstoppable. I have around 80 on DraftKings. Does Larson's road course history this season concern you at all? Not really. I mean, some of it is just kind of attested to bad luck. Watkins Glen has not been a horrible track for him. In the past, won it back-to-back 2021, 2022, which I realize is a little bit far away. But starting in 27th, based off of Group A, he did have one of the best cars. I don't know what happened in qualifying to be that bad, but he was right behind Justin Haley in Group A. I really think William Byron's going to be good because we all saw Group A had a bit of an advantage. I mean, they take up almost all the top spots here, but even William Byron stuck his way in there. I think he's got a really good car today. All of Hendrick should be good today, but Byron and Elliott, Larson, I mean, those are pretty clear building blocks for me. What's up, Fiduni? Do we run Michael McDowell top 5 at plus 150? Also Bell top 5 at plus 285. Let's see. McDowell top 5, what'd you get? 150? I mean, 149, so we're right on par with them. So if you want to bet that, I'm fine with it. Chris Bell top 5 at 285. Yeah, I would bet that. I have his top 10 because I felt a little more comfortable with that, but might have to dip my toes into the top 5s, although I don't know why it concerns me a little bit, but the numbers like it. But again, I'm also very, very conservative on SVG's numbers. So that's probably why the value is pretty ballooned. No problem, Ellis. What are your thoughts on the value in the mid-range and the cheaper plays being similar? Would you go with Haley and Smith or Nemechek and Herbst on DraftKings? I would go with Haley and Smith there. Zane Smith offers some nice place differential. Sometimes he can sneak his way into the top 20. He's kind of random, it seems like. And Haley showed all the speed in the world. I'm not sure how fake it is, but he'll have some decent track position. I think he can hang around the top 20. We've seen it at road courses before. It's not like Justin Haley is a bad road racer. Let me pull up his numbers here. In the next gen, 21 race sample size for Justin Haley. Average finish inside the top 20. Running position right where he qualified in 21 races? 21 races. He's finished in the top 20 11 times. I mean, that's not a bad hit rate for this price range. I mean, no one's even, like, compared to, I'm sorry, my big head's in the way. Actually, now my chair, I can't really get out of the way. I apologize. But yeah, you can see that's a pretty good rate down there. Stenhouse a little high there as well. But RB says, "What's the bet of?" I guess I probably answered that. The bet of the week was Chase Elliott plus 220 on Hard Rock for a top 10. That was the bet of the week, I think. Unfortunately, that's gone. I don't hate the Bell top 5 at 285 wherever you can find. I don't know what book you're looking at, Fiduni, but Pretty good number. Team Catherine, believe in it, Chris? I mean, she usually stays out of trouble lately. I mean, she's not the fastest in the world, but she lets other people make mistakes, and she could finish 18th today randomly. That's possible. It's one way to fit in SVG, that's for sure. It's not like I don't think she's my least projected driver. No, I have Catherine projected better than Yaley and Ware today, so right there with Balicki. $9K left on FanDuel. Who do you got? I'm gonna guess the projection says Busher. Let me double check. Yeah, that'd be Chris Busher. Assuming you already have him. What's up, Rogue? A few top 10s. Busher minus 115, right plus 260, Bell plus 120. Any outright sprinkling or just avoid because of SVG? Yeah, that's the thing. I'm kind of avoiding the outrights, even though I am showing value on like the likes of, say, Christopher Bell right now. I'm going to try and wait and live bet. The only thing that can happen is that SVG dunks on the field, and I feel better that I don't live bet. Or if I see any weaknesses in his lap times, we'll probably have good value. So I'm planning on live betting, maybe, on an outright. But I do like that Bell top 10 at plus 120. I'm on it at plus 110. It went backwards. I don't know why, but yeah, I bet at 120. Who's the best driver under 5K on FanDuel? For me, that's Justin Haley. Larson, Elliott, Briscoe, McDriver, Hamlin, and Smith for the Gurney win. I wish you the best, sir. I like the Larson Elliott. I love McDowell today, and I'm all right with Zane Smith. Briscoe and Hamlin will keep you different. Briscoe's been very good at the road courses this season. Like, I don't know if it's been sneaky good, but he has been pretty good. And I forget which track it was. He was running third, but then I think he had a tire going down. It might have been Chicago, because I know the Toyota stayed out. Hamlin got the good finish. Bubba Wallace was going to get a good finish, and then he tangoed with Alex Bowman too much and killed his race. I'm pretty sure that was Chicago. And the tracks that Truex has been good at, I mean, we've seen kind of the same for Chase Briscoe. I mean, maybe it's just all the car. Who's running Hamlin over Larson today? It's very different, that's for sure. I don't think many people will do that straight up, so that'll keep you different. But yeah, I'm with Zane Smith. I don't mind John Nemechek. I mean, really all those guys in the back are fine. There'll be enough shuffling around. 3 must plays. If I was forced to play 3 guys today, it'd probably be Larson, Elliott, Byron for me. Is anyone to the rear? Well, Bob quit his NASCAR job, unfortunately, so let me check if he decided to tweet anything. Not really seeing anything from Bobby. All right, 5 hours ago, I haven't seen anybody to the rear, which I would not care at all unless it's like SVG, of course. But I don't see a reason why that would happen. McDowell over Bowman. Yes, I would play McDowell over. McDowell's going to be on the optimal strategy day for certain. Like he's got to try to win this race, and he has the speed to do it. He has the road course ability to do it, so I like that a lot. DK Cash. I would probably it's really just SVG, Larson, Byron, or I'm sorry, SVG, Larson, Elliott. If you want to swap Byron for Elliott, be my guest. And then you're really just punting. I think Justin Haley's fine down low, Zane Smith, Cole Custer. It's perfectly fine with me. I really don't see the balanced approach being the optimal route as far as cash games are concerned. I would just try to jam in the studs. I think it's worth the most points, and then hopefully the punts get there. Favorite tournament plays? I really like Michael McDowell. I like Kyle Busch. I like William. William Byron's not going to be low owned, but I am being overweight on Byron. I'm being overweight on Christopher Bell. And then I really like Cole Custer down low. What do I think of Bubba Wallace? Bubba Wallace projects horribly for me. Like, I was really surprised how low he was, so I don't have any Bubba Wallace. We'll see if that bites me, but I feel like it won't. Chad says he's torn about SVG, single entry home league, SVG leg versus a stack lineup with a bunch of 8 to 9K guys and Haley. I mean, if it's a home league, I don't really think I want to put it on Catherine leg there, so I'll go with the stacked lineup. I'm sure everybody else will probably play SVG, and maybe they'll make mistakes there. But you can play SVG without doing Catherine, so I don't know, maybe you could wiggle that around. DK single entry, Larson, McDowell, Bush, Smith, and Custer. Oh, SVG, Larson, McDowell. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Looks good to me. McDowell and Bush are, I think, really solid tournament plays today. So, what's up, Alex? Who's your favorite drivers for DK Cash below 6,700? Gilly's a good option. Haley, Zane. It's basically the same answer every time, I guess. But Gilly, Nemechek, Haley, Zane. Those are the guys I'm picking from down low. Jay Farr says, FanDuel still has Zilich on this. Yeah. Last I looked when I was building, they don't have Connor out. So I'm really don't tell your friends, don't tell anybody else, but I'll tell you guys. So obviously you guys know already. But hopefully he's like 10% owned today. That'd be amazing. So keep it on the down low. We need people to pay the reg for us. Because, I mean, they're going to see Connor starting in 25th. I don't know how many people actually follow NASCAR news. Like, if I was playing a soccer slate, I would have no idea that the guy was out. So, hopefully people still pick him. Priest or Logano? Oh, boy. I haven't really given too many thoughts to either. I believe I have Logano higher. Hard Rock is so slow. Their live odds are always juicy. Absolutely. I said this the other week, but when it was Dover, I think, and Bowman clearly had like a top 3 car, he was in 5th and they had him at plus 3,000. Like Hard Rock is the best place to live bet from my experience. Although I think there's one of the tracks, there was a lot of strategy going on. They just locked the odds forever because they're like, well, they have no idea what they're doing. 45, 48, or 20. I'll go with Bell there. Gregson is viable. It just doesn't feel good doing it. I think there's probably better punts. FanDuel GPP single entry, Larson, Elliott, McDowell, Bell, Gilland. How do you feel about Allmendinger today? I'm fine with the dinger. We know he's not points racing or anything. I manually boosted his projections a little bit. I thought it was maybe a tad bit low. I ended up with, I believe, 25% on FanDuel. Did play him in one of my 3 maxes. So I'm fine with that. I like the rest of your lineup, so it's perfectly fine. What's up, Grade A? Appreciate that. She's doing amazing. And you can look too as well. The 20 max. The 20 max today on FanDuel is such a bad pay structure, but I'm playing it anyway. But it's like 3K to first, and then what? 10th place gets $20. Just horrible. Let's see. How much leg you plan on getting to? I played 0 leg in FanDuel. I don't see a reason to do that. You guys, I want my lineups. I need top 15, legit top 15 potential, and that's not going to happen. Do I like Priest or Suarez better for DK tournaments? Oh, great question. I'm not really in on either, but looks like we have Suarez slightly higher. 5-man tribe stack. I didn't play baseball. I never do on the weekend. But hopefully it hits. I mean, they've been on fire. What, 9-1 in their last 10 games? Gotta keep catching Detroit. Zane Smith or Cole Custer? I have Cole Custer slightly higher. Awesome guy. Very slightly. What's up, Internet? Gilly or Nemechek? I think I have Gilly higher. I know that one's going to be tight. Yeah, I got Gilly just like a 0.8 points higher. I'm gonna have to trust Larson. Unfortunately, he's one of my highest owned drivers, so I'm hoping he doesn't suck. Practice speeds look good. Qualifying was horrible, but I'm gonna have to assume he is gonna be able to move up at least in the top 15. At the very least, he should be a top 10 contender. For me, Dimes, I like being over on SVG on DraftKings. FanDuel, I like being under. It's so much easier to play him on DraftKings today, in my opinion. Leave money with Haley over Gregson? I would, personally. That's what I did on FanDuel. I had the option of leaving like 1,200 on the table with Haley, or I could go up to Zane Smith, or I think it was maybe Gilland, and I went Justin Haley still. Elliott or Byron? That is a close one. I have Elliott by a few points. It's just the extra place differential. But I really do think Byron's going to have a great car today, based off of him being so fast. Overall, being mixed in with the Group A guys for being in Group B. Yeah, I prefer Elliott over Bell and DK Cash, just to take the extra PD spots. Bell, Byron, or SVG and Gilly on DraftKings. I believe Bell and Byron project slightly better. Like, very slightly. Gillen or Nemechek. I'll go with Gillen there. Austin. Yeah, Austin Hill is a menace. Straight up menace. Yeah, no problem at all, Jake. And I appreciate you being here. I don't think I would. Personally, Daniels, I am fine having multiples of like a Cole Custer and Zane Smith today together. Yeah, I do think it would potentially chop off the SB. I don't really know how you build those lineups without getting multiple punts, so I think it's fine having that today. Blaney never looks back today. I don't know. I think Blaney's getting run over in the first lap, but we'll see. He's been a candidate to points race a bit at the road courses this year, even when he has a car that could compete for a top 3. And this is prime position to take points. I'm assuming he's not going to lead. I think it's going to be SVG pretty quickly. Blaney has some fast road courses this year, but this is a prime spot to take the points stage 1. Then he might get a little bit buried after that. We'll see how much he can work his way back up. If you're going to play him, I would say FanDuel, but Bowman or Busher, I'm going to go with Busher there. Blaney strategy today will take him out of first. I agree. That's the scary thing. Yeah, I do a lot of randomness. I mean, when things are going right, it's perfect, but things never go right the entire race. So you can be winning a lot of money, and then it's like all the great projection plays just something happened to him. Something happened. I gotta have randomness. This is something you have to. That's something I always play with, for sure. I mean, if you're doing well with 8 to 12, though, that's fine. I always have a lot of variance baked into my stuff because it's NASCAR and the next gen car. Everyone's going the same speed basically. I think you gotta ramp it up. Dinger, Briscoe, and Gibbs. Thoughts? Like Dinger? I'm all right with Gibbs. I'm okay with Briscoe. Briscoe's not my favorite play that I'm starting in third, but I prefer Michael McDowell just a little bit more, but he's in a similar group with them. Is Connor the best driver of all time? I mean, I can't say he is yet, but he's going to be really good. He might just be the next GOAT in NASCAR. He's, at his age and how good he is, I mean, yeah. It's pretty awesome. And he's going to get done at ovals now, too. Like, just on a weekly basis, he's crushing. SVG hiding data? Is that a thing? I'm not sure. He's better at outbraking everybody, that's for sure. What do I think of all 4 Hendricks, Briscoe, and a punt? I mean, it's not the worst strategy. I am curious to see what happens with Alex Bowman today. I just feel like maybe he points races and that puts him in a bit of a hole. Not saying he can't race his way back up by any means. But I do like Hendrick in general today, so I won't talk you out of it. I like Dinger more than Hamlin, personally. I just feel like Dinger spins every road course race now at this point. I don't know why. But at 8,200 starting mid-pack, I mean, there's not that many great place differential plays, but I'd put him in a solid group for that. What's that, Sean? SVG, Gibbs, McDowell, Gillen, Nemechek, Haley, large GPP. I feel like that leaves a lot of money on the table. Maybe not. I guess Gillen and Nemechek are a little more expensive, so. But I can rock with it. Yeah, I mean, all it takes today on DraftKings, at least, is not to have Shane in your lineup, and it's Criterion pretty much. But in the 20 max on FanDuel grade, I played 35%, so planning on being a little underweight there. Elliott Haley versus McDowell Gilly on FanDuel. I'm going to go Elliott Haley. Busher or Larson? I'll go with Larson. I have not seen anybody going to the back as far as I've seen. And the race starts pretty soon, so I don't think so. Well, anyone important anyway. Let me see what Mr. Dustin Long has tweeted. I haven't seen anything. What's up, Earl? Just says you're staying away from Blaney. I got the Blaney shirt on today just because he's got the pole. Just that's all I'm giving him today. I played 10% on FanDuel maybe just because he's so cheap, and if he gets around 7th, it's not the worst. But it doesn't seem like a great DraftKings play. 7,700 left on DraftKings. Who? I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch there. Kyle Busch is not the best projection play, but just from a strategy standpoint, he's gonna be having to gun for a win. So I like that. What do I think about Larson, Busher, McDowell, Busch, Bowman, and Gilliland? I mean, it's a solid GPP build. I mean, I've said my thoughts on Bowman. I'm not saying he can't race his way back up. There's potential for it. Even then, though, if he finishes like 9th today at that price, it's not like it's whatever, right? Typically 1 Daniels. Jeff, just look for the Indians logo. That's me. Can I see a design of the track? Well, I'd have to pull up some other stuff. It might be a little difficult on my end live, so unfortunately I can't. But thoughts on AJ? Answered that one. Is no SVG an insane sand? I would say, yeah, no SVG. I mean, I think you have to have some. Like, you can play 20% and have enough bullets, but you're still going to be like half the field, or like, even, I guess even more than that. But I think you'd have to have some. Custer, Haley last minute in. I would go Haley. Hello, Miss Jules. I was looking for you. Didn't see you for a while. Hoping for a good Blaney race today. Good luck, NASCAR fam. Yeah. I mean, Blaney should be all right. We'll see how he goes with strategy today. That's always a bit of a question mark at the road courses, but cannot believe he got on the pole. Yeah, I'm not really on Denny. Any good parlays? Oh, I would not be betting parlays for NASCAR. I don't bet parlays in general anyway, no matter what the sport is. But I definitely wouldn't in NASCAR. Flag plants today. Yeah, that's how you ask the questions right there. Now, flag plants for me, I'm overweight on McDowell in tournaments. I'm overweight on Kyle Busch. Overweight on Byron. Elliott. I mean, since I'm a little bit lower on SVG, at least on the FanDuel side of things, I just jammed in Larson, Bell, Byron, Elliott, those guys. But the ones that are like super obvious, McDowell and Kyle Busch, I think makes some solid sense there. And I really like William Byron. Bell and Nemechek or Elliott and Dinger. I'm going to go with Elliott and Dinger there. I have 900 and 1,300 left on the table max. I think my optimal actually leaves... Pretty sure my optimal on DraftKings leaves over like $1,000, which sounds crazy. And it does have SVG in it. Like I said, though, a lot of the pump plays pretty even with the mid-range. Is Hamlin good on road courses? I mean, he used to be. It's kind of weird. I mean, sometimes he has decent runs at road courses. That really good finish he had earlier this season in the summer, he just kind of got lucky on the strategy and I believe it caution. It's not like he was actually that fast. But last year, Watkins Glen, I believe, started on the pole, finished second, I'm pretty sure. But I'm sorry, that was 2023. But 2023 was the year we had no stage cautions, and road courses were basically free money the year there was no stage cautions because nothing ever happened. There was no cautions, and the way they started was the way they ran. A couple of guys obviously moved around, but they were just so easy. Same guys every week, and it was fantastic. of scrolling around here. I don't have too much time because locks very soon, so I'm gonna have to probably cut the stream a little bit shorter. Let's just hope my lineup isn't dead in 5. Yeah, that'd be great. Hopefully we don't have just a massive wreck and half our lineups are dead. Is McDowell top 5? I thought I answered that one. I mean, McDowell, I have him at +140. It's dead even. So you got to go with their own preference there. It's all right. I'm not betting it, but it's dead even there. Is Hamlin a bad play today on FanDuel? I mean, you could do worse than Hamlin. I have a little bit. He's $6,000. I just kind of landed him on the price range a little bit. I'm not going my way to play him, though. Actually, let me pull up my exposure really quick. I have 5% Denny and 20 max. And I have, 5%. So yeah, I'm not really trying to see who I have more of in that range. I have 9% Bowman, 15% Blaney on there. Sounds a little scary. But like I said, I think Blaney could probably still sneak his way in the top 10. I'm obviously assuming he's going to lose place differential, but that's not as bad of a thing on FanDuel. Plus, there's not a lot of guys that I think, outside of a handful, that really are a lock to gain a ton of spots today. Yeah, no problem at all, sir. Right back at you, Sean. Paul says, so 88 been in the news very much. Connor drives number 88. Rush. What is that called? Gematria? Something like that. But yeah. What's that equate to today? Not sure, but I guess it equated to Connor dying yesterday, unfortunately. Will he be finally closed the race? McDriver after SV Jesus. I like that. SV Jesus. Yeah, Billy Boy finally did finish. He did win last week, didn't he? Thought he was gonna run out of gas. He ended up not running out of gas. So yeah, good for him. Is Connor a cat? Don't play Connor, Dakota. He's not racing today. Appreciate you, Feduni. And don't tell your friends, Dakota. Let them play Connor. 100 likes for Chris shaving head and face. Oh, absolutely not, Peter. I wouldn't do it for 20,000 likes. Yeah, 50% SVG is like right around where I think is probably good optimal rate, Bob. RB, I answered your question like 10 times, man. And I answered it like 20 minutes ago too. So you might have a hearing issue. I don't know. But I've answered it many times. And then so did somebody else. No, FanDuel will lock at 2 p.m. Brady says, I like to hear it. Hoping for a decent Hamlin road course run. He used to be good at them. Yeah, he used to be. Back when, I think my favorite saying is back when Obama was president, for usually answers about when Kyle Busch was good at things. And Denny Hamlin hasn't really been good at road courses in that long of a time. Hunter, are you in the 50 with me? I ran, which one did I run? It leaves at least 1,200 on the table. Yeah, I'll see you in Discord, Rick. I'm probably going to have to get out of here. Just because I don't want to go until exactly lock. I appreciate y'all being here. I don't know where we're at next week. I'm hoping it's Richmond. I like Richmond, even though it's boring. So hopefully that's what it is. But I wish y'all the best. Thank y'all for hanging out.